someone like Liquid too, who's certainly no slouches, but playing a little safer in regards to the agent selection. But nukkye taking a great deal of space, and he doesn't need to go this far, but now he's in trouble. A little overextension, but he had the support of keloqz, so maybe feeling a little bit more up for it. And you're right, the pinch was perfect, the timing, there was no safety to be had. As soon as they garnered that deep CT or the kind of defending side control at the back of site, that pinch was just perfect. And now we look at what's remaining. ScreaM, Nivera, Jamppi. ScreaM quickly adjusts, he did get one, but it's Nivera with the follow-up! And now the 1v2. Mixwell, the swings and roundabout supply is good for him though, but they're going to be so aware of where he's going to be. Wants to get one on the cross if he can. Oh, they're not giving him an easy fight. Not going to get a Jamppi there. In combat.
Pushed out double doors with that spy cam, and nobody's pushed down long, but it's because we see ScreaM here with a Marshall playing top of default.
ScreaM, let's see it. They're going to be under the aim, but he still somehow gets 2 out of that. How has he got away with it? I do not know, but he's still going to have to fall away. He has to respect that Garage was given up to an extent, so has to just hope that there's some safety to be had here. But the site is now under G2 control, so Spike can be planted to the back. He's trying to spam away, and oh, he's real close. He's right on the money. And the shot just goes slightly astray. nukkye down with it all to do. Players everywhere, and Liquid keep control off the back of what was sublime work from Sheriffs. A little bit of light armor to support. Decent touch of utility, so they can springboard off the back of it if they do find a bit of success. soulcas, though, going to show him how it's done. Already 1 on the board. Jamppi now decides that's the opportune moment to strike, but soulcas is making real light work of this. He's probably one of the least equipped players to be doing as such, but Jamppi does put his body on the line, just swings on round, hoods up, you know it's gaming time. And ScreaM showing off the Marshall. I mean, hey, anything Tens can do, I'll give it a try as well. But AvovA, last one alive, and he's being swarmed. ScreaM's got him, and Liquid making it look quite big. keloqz, there he is. At least gets 1 on the trade there after that site push through coming out the back of the ult. Now, where's Mixwell in this? Just about appears, and Link's there waiting. Not clean enough for keloqz, and they're all effective work for Liquid. This is a fantastic look. Where was this team in the last map? He's now ready. We're down to just koldamenta. He's got 4 potential opponents who have every aspect of that site under wraps.
We have the spike, but again, mountains to climb, 30 seconds looming on the clock. I'll find a kill now if he wants to make this even feasible.
30 seconds left.
In the turret. We'll be watching B as well. It looks like actually, I mean, even in this scenario, that 1-round victory, this is going to be...
They're actually eyeing up B, and at the back of the site is the beast waiting. ScreaM does have support through from Garage if needed. And in we go. But we saw issues with this before where keloqz didn't have that second layer to the hit. We saw it being an issue on map 1. However, this time ScreaM has to respect this and somewhat backs away.
Yeah, actually, Gigi will call an audible midway through, possibly leaving keloqz to pinch through the backside of Garage. But initially, soulcas still in a position to do damage, and he will find Mixwell. The G2 almost just no way into C site right now. This is all on the back of that seat. He's chasing them down. Might even find a kill on the back of this.
I mean, how close do they think he might be at this point? Now they know, but for a second or two, there could have been a chance he could actually hunt them down. But Spike is going down towards B, so they've kind of, I guess, re-engaged that initial exploration. ScreaM waiting for someone to cross away. koldamenta outdoes him on that. And now G2 in a fantastic position to lock this down. Yes, the HP's a little low as koldamenta is only on 10 HP. And Jamppi's just found keloqz, so now the problems start to present themselves.
Let's see. Jamppi actually, if we can get anything else done here, koldamenta's actually 10 HP. You can see Jamppi resorting to the pistol, but AvovA will find 1 koldamenta with the second. The Cosmic Divide invested just to make sure. Jamppi, look at the push on through, finds the first. AvovA good for the trade, though. T2 will close out.
Cross each other, so aware of each other's presence, but there's going to be the ult popped, and actually ScreaM did find koldamenta, so that's an integral pick at this point as they look for the trade back in, but there's a judge waiting, so and a par for the course when you're playing Liquid, it seems, be it Link, be it whomever else. They all seem more than happy to lean towards it on those close choke points, and still looking back to this ace piece, they could get to the site, and whether or not they can hold the post plant is the next problem.
Pause for thought, potentially. keloqz holding that angle here. You can see Nivera up on the X-ray, repositioned towards heaven. And nukkye actually clearing out
30
one of the
seconds
corners
left.
there for mixwell to advance as well, and nobody actually holding the angle on short. Jamppi does have the lockdown, so potential here for them to completely give this up and just play a very quick retake on the back of it. keloqz will actually find one there. Lockdown invested as well. Bladestorm thrown up. keloqz only finds a little damage though, no kill. So we'll have to reset away from this.
And the pace on Liquid trying to get back into this as quickly as they can. Can they get to halfway? keloqz is going to swing, and it's a miss. And now the defuse should be able to get to halfway, unless mixwell does something wild through that smoke. Not going to happen. Jamppi's there on the other side, and another successful retake for Liquid in this. Yes, we noted the spike plant away to the side, so where do you try and pitch the fix, right? What do you try and do? You've got double ops to play against, and Jamppi's getting a little bit fruitier now, so going to try and slip away quietly. Don't give too much away, but he has to respect the early utility now.
Koldamenta will note the alarm bot here. There's been Nivera to face that, and I guess that's to hide the operator. Or at least keep G2 guessing as ScreaM will find mixwell.
Mixwell's having a nightmare of a game.
He has. He really has.
One down.
Freebies. This is the problem. You play an operator on each side.
Can't do slip picks.
Typically what you'd expect is they find the operator, they rotate away from, but there's two of them to deal with. I don't know what that was, but Jamppi will pluck keloqz out of the sky.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If you theory craft those double ups against you, the ideal way for them to thrive is that you get picks on either side, right? And that's exactly what they've had. No real, like, big sight hit, no massive utility usage to force them off. Again, without the Sky having those deeper flashes, it gets a little trickier because they can hold those slightly deeper lines. Phoenix, I mean, the flashes are fine, but do they reach that far? And, well, does it matter now? Link with just a shot to the back of the head towards AvovA, just an execution as koldamenta. That's going to be a nice shot. And he predicts Jamppi reading him like a book, but there's a whole other player. And actually, the shot goes astray, so maybe a little hope in the day for koldamenta. Ult's still available, but he's being closed in on, and soulcas. That's right. Double ops, which traditionally should not work that well in these retake scenarios.
No.
By no account should they have this much freedom to make this work, but they are, and they're doing it well. ScreaM eyeing up long. He already had contact here earlier. He's got a really good notion as to what's coming his way, but there are players coming through garage as well. You know that pinch is coming in. keloqz, body on the line. Where's that next step? Well, it's a missed shot from ScreaM, which does give him a chance. Still just about staying alive. The flash confirming presence and pressure now towards the backside. But G2 this time bursting enough.
Player standing.
That's once again looking for maybe a little bit of coverage to come out, but it ain't the case anymore, as now it's just Jamppi. Now, this retake might be a little bit too out of his reach.
Yeah, I think this is probably the one that Liquid aren't successful on. Have to wait and see if Jamppi can even make this interesting. Still curious. Again, even at this point, I mean, it's round 11. If you can get some damage towards G2, make this last purchase a little more painful for them. Again, G2 adjusted accordingly. Playing this very safe. Everybody in a post-plant situation, or position, I should say. Don't want to give away any of these weapons. And it's interesting to see again the run it back. Yeah, sure, space created, but in terms of win conditions here for G2, this isn't what they've fallen short on. They found entry to site. They found these plants.
Okay, here are those ults they've got stocked up for basically either side. We know that they've got plenty. keloqz with a quick one. That's Jamppi now removed. As ScreaM's been locked down by that little bit of utility here. You can see the temptation. He wants to break through, but his patience pays off. Gets the better of Mixwell. He was down there for so long. And now the divide comes out as well. It's a 4v4.
That went straight to keloqz. It was actually accidental. The second one does damage as well.
Oh, keloqz is in all kinds of trouble. He gets found by soulcas. The burst comes in, and the retake once again is off to a good start. But AvovA, out of nowhere, finding soulcas and Nivera. Finally, G2 stick the landing. This agent composition, your sentinels, right? Even they still sometimes have a tougher time finding its, place in the defending side. And it's what makes them very talented, is that they can still make it somewhat work. But for now, Liquid already get this off to a great start. They're into the post plants that favor them, but now obviously his shoes on the other foot. They have to try and weather the storm on the retake coming in. Mixwell wants to get this halfway. He can't do it just yet. Gonna touch the spike, draw out some utility. And now they look for that pick off the back. ScreaM's going to deny the push through from keloqz. Now they start pouring bodies to it, but ScreaM overwhelmed finally. Trade effective for soulcas. It's all back and forward, but soulcas is still alive, and he's still holding the ground, leaving just AvovA now to try and do it all, and it ain't going to happen. Liquid get off to the...
I'm not going to be pinged up on that. I think it will become a real factor in this as trapwire will be triggered. As Jamppi goes walkabouts, nukkye actually way disconnected from this. But we'll find the lurk at least.
Now coming back in, 3 Spectres and that Marshall spotting out at least one down here. Nivera not that fast, hasn't seen the second player yet. Nukkye's kind of staying unnoted now. Position granted and kind of given up here. Nivera desperate for it, almost feral on the hunt. But it's going to be Link and soulcas holding from the site to be the main one to control this piece.
Proactive here, but initially doesn't look as so in the early round. Nukkye will walk mid though, and that's important.
Unnoted as well.
Yeah.
Even with that jump peak, it's not really given much over to the Liquid side. Jamppi just digs keloqz out of the corner.
Well, the problem being now that's going to pull AvovA away, and it makes nukkye's spot almost a one and done. If anybody even drifts into mid.
And they're just leaning towards mixwell, who's been having a tough game anyway. And it looks like the build's happening. Back of sight. Great shot towards ScreaM, gets to dip away, readjust for that secondary position. Utility does come out from Liquid, so still confirmation of presence, but there's that lurk towards middle, actually working out quite well. Didn't use it in an aggressive manner, but merely to catch anyone trying to play through towards Garage late round. And these 3 aren't finding many ways in now for Liquid. Those Spectres are... well, the Spectres are out of range, but the Sheriff ain't.
Nivera finds the headshot on the koldamenta, brings it to a 3v3, interestingly, and Liquid with an opportunity to potentially find a gap towards B. Looks like that's going to be the case. Nukkye here, though. Does have to run it back, but already on site, so pretty risky here. AvovA find the first. Actually, Nivera gets the best of Nukkye as well. Link will be called upon. 10 seconds left. Mixwell low HP.
Time is everything, and Link removes that threat. Spike is in. There we go. Link now left in the 1v1 of AvovA, though. He's going to hear these steps. Link did whatever he could, but the weaponry just a little better for AvovA, and the defuse going to come through, and a lifeline for G2. They've walked through it. Nukkye's walking mid right now, just going to try and get into this while he can. He does at least reveal one, but look who's following him up. AvovA was there by his side.
I've got your trail.
So again, that's going to be a problem for AvovA. Going to give away the game. Flashed up now, should be noticed, should be found quickly. Still outdoes ScreaM. I'm amazed by this, but then there's a second layer to everything. All these kills coming in back to back has created at least a 3v2. It's still favorable to G2, as now Nivera in all this madness and mayhem towards B. G2 weather this.
There's a little bit of a switch up on the side of G2 here. Just AvovA playing over towards C. Nukkye going walkabouts once again. He get himself tucked under window.
Taking that back.
Last time, who was it? He caught a player going through towards Garage. I mean, they're all stacked up on long like it's a full in. So I don't know if he's going to get that much chance at it. Creeping up, and here's the burst. Flash goes in, ult comes out, ScreaM's on the side. Where's that second layer? Has he got support? He doesn't need it. He's doing it just fine. Nivera's got his back as well. They've got site control now. Spike can be crossing over. Nukkye, I don't think, can really deny this now.
30 seconds left.
Jamppi will find a pick, and actually going to flash out this Nukkye. A little bit daring with it there. koldamenta will find 2, though. ScreaM quick with the response, and Liquid strike right back. Put themselves on 11 rounds now. Again, able to want to slow things entirely. Don't come here. We've got no urgent.
I mean, the bigger deterrent for me is that there's 4 players on this site. That to me is the more worrying part now. There's 4 bodies on this site so early on. So even if they're like, we'll just go now, we'll go after this utility, that's fine. There's the flash and there's the work off the back. Mixwell finds ScreaM, and they're like, oh, that's going to be a couple more players, and there is. Nukkye being one of them. We said this had to go almost to that dream scenario where you keep it clean, you upgrade all the rifles, and while they're doing quite nicely at that I guess, notion for G2, they still have that Spectre on nukkye, but he's done quite well in this anyway. So now we look at what's left on the other side. Jamppi, Link, and soulcas. And they've not really had much step. They made a bit of a play up sewer and a bit of a play towards A, and that's all she wrote, really. And
this is the problem, really. Even if this is a one-for-one trade initially, this is where you got to question the Jamppi operator, right? Is because now as 3, you have to advance. And whether or not Jamppi is considering a weapon swap here in sewers to make it a little easier on the way in. Does have the lockdown, so again, advancing towards the expected position for that to be invested, and actually the bait on the trap wire is perfect. They find nukkye on the back of it.
That's really well done between them, finding a way forward. Mixwell though still safe on the site, and the follow-up's perfect from him. However, Jamppi still stands, but look at the time. Down to 6 seconds, he's being tested and being pressured, and koldamenta gets him in the side, but how's it? Nah. We have seen those mad shots from Jamppi, right? We've had a couple of those rounds where it's like, oh, okay, he's doing some big damage here, but they are keeping them at arm's length here. Mixwell's on the right side for this again. He's trying to stay mobile, but he does give up his life in no man's land here. Nowhere to back away to, and no follow-up from AvovA, who has to respect this now. He's lost sight control. He doesn't have that full information. Trying to take down the Aldrone, flashed up, a little bit of a peek, forcing him off. This should be a spike plant now, at least get the time favorable to their side. And keloqz is waiting, posted up. If anyone to swing, there it is. Good work from keloqz to give them a first step back in. soulcas, Link, and Nivera, what do you do now?
Well, Link got lots to deal with here. We'll actually find a headshot onto AvovA here, so 22 HP, able to survive. Nivera actually finds 2! No, soulcas followed up on that.
Look at the HP on both of them. 10 HP for koldamenta, soulcas on 7. Dire straits for both sides, and the spike's a little tricky. soulcas. Oh, this is so close. He's just about hitting koldamenta.
I actually thought Nivera found that second kill. It was actually the headshot that brought koldamenta to 10 HP.
But now AvovA has to respect this, though, fall away, kind of, you know, take a little bit of a breath on this one, because already the site's being taken. Nivera's found AvovA, and now the site's already going to be swarmed. ScreaM's on site itself. He's pushed towards backside. It's all clear. Now they have to respect the utility coming out here from koldamenta, for example, but actually it's Nivera, it's ScreaM, sending them back, sending them away, leaving just nukkye and koldamenta alive, and with very little option to move forward. The divide's in place. You could see how much this round could have opened up, and Liquid invested a lot into it.
They did, but got themselves to a 4v2. nukkye and koldamenta called upon here. Actually, the molly not even clearing out default. So Link able to stay in this position. nukkye actually finds ScreaM though on the way in. We quickly trade out. Nivera good for his 3rd. koldamenta now actually, yeah, forced to consider holding on to this rifle.
That's rough. That's actually really rough. You have to just back away. You have to face now that 12 will be on the board. And I've got to give credit to Liquid on that hit, though. That was full power, full energy, everything in. Utility was great. The ults were great coming out from there. They invested a hell of a lot, though. But again, that could have been the opening of the doorway of, okay, G2 are starting to build back in now. That would have been the gap closer, right?
Match point.
Here is, and again, the running back. Kind of the key piece of the puzzle there.
Looks like they want to once again finish towards this side. Spike slowly being ferried this way, not completely committed, but on the way. But obviously not perfect either for soulcas, for example. He's suffering a little less, but he's got the Seekers coming out. He's got everything he needs, and look at the pressure coming down towards G2. It is smothering right now. ScreaM's there, and it's going to be ScreaM open this up. The site is theirs. It's got Liquid just written all over this right now. Ult now popped. It's on keloqz, mixwell, and nukkye. If they want a chance in this map, in this time of facing, I know we talked about the next meet, maybe in the final, but they have to make it there now. ScreaM dragging them almost over the finish line. It is now down to nukkye. Do everything he can to try and save the day for G2, or they have that horrible task in front of them. Clears out default, looks towards long, but these players are waiting patiently. He's found Jamppi. He starts to find so many more in the time. Oh, that's not the gun he wanted. Oh, no. It's all going wrong. nukkye is going to have to face the music here, forced to try and fight, forcing them out.
What?
And he's tried so hard.